You're about to watch a podcast with myself and Dwayne Jefferson. He's known for his AI, tech, and amazing social media content. Over 360 followers, he gives us some expert advice on social media, what AI tools to use, and what strategies to use when doing content creation. Enjoy. Dwayne, thank you so much for making the time. I really appreciate it, and I absolutely love your content. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get into this digital space and content creation?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm excited. So yeah, I'm Dwayne. I make content around tech. I have about 140K followers on Instagram, 200K on TikTok. Mostly tech focused content, as I was explaining, coding, artificial intelligence, algorithms. I just love anything that has to do with algorithms. So yeah, I'm excited to share what I know about the topic with you.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, well, I'm excited. Let's jump straight into algorithms. I mean, social media is such a big thing and everyone is like, what is the magic sauce? How do you get a lot of followers or how do you connect with the right audience? What would you say is some like key strategies to take in consideration when building your social media presence?
Yeah, so the first thing that you need to make clear, or what I made clear for myself, was who do I make content for? You need to really make it clear to yourself first thing who your target audience is. And if you don't know who your target audience is, you can figure out as you go. Just have like an idea of who you would like to make content for. And as you go on, you refine the audience. Like you refine your content based on the feedback you're getting in the comments, the DMs that people are sending you. You refine it. Once you have that part figured out, you need to go focus on what is trending right now. What are people talking about? So you can do research in many different ways. You can do it on Google Keyword Planner, just go do your research. Some people even use ChatGPT for that. You just ask ChatGPT, like, what is a trending topic in my specific niche?
Yeah.
And yeah, the niche, of course, that goes hand in hand with who you're making content for. If it's clear to you who you're making your content for, then your niche should be included in that as well.
Yeah.
So that's the two most important things I would say. It's to define your target audience and figuring out what is popping right now, an interesting topic. It doesn't always have to be trending, as long as it's content that aligns with what you want to teach your target audience, or what you want them to learn, or what you want them to see from you.
Yeah.
So that's the first layer. It goes really deep. So I just wanted to get at that first.
The first and
Yeah.
most important layer. Yeah, definitely. There is so many layers to it, and it goes so deep. And you mentioned ChatGPT, and I see you creating a lot of tools on AI. Are there some AI tools you use for your content creation?
Yes, ChatGPT.
Okay.
I think, yeah. Yeah, I use ChatGPT, especially for like the ideation phase, to see like what can I make? Because sometimes, like especially, I haven't been posting often on Instagram and TikTok anymore. But when you're uploading consistently, like every day, you need to keep coming back with new topics. And at some point you run out of topics. And that's where ChatGPT comes into play. I think it's a very essential tool for creators. And it doesn't have to be ChatGPT. It can be any other form of generative AI, as long as it can help you out, especially in the brainstorming of ideas process. I think it's beneficial, but that's the one I use the most is ChatGPT. And I also run another channel. It's faceless. It's a faceless channel. And we use 11 Labs for that one. It's
Okay.
also an AI tool. It's not like ChatGPT, but 11 Labs. Midjourney as well for
Amazing.
thumbnail ideation. There's many. If you are making content, you are really missing out on a lot of, I would say, ChatGPT and other generative AI tools unlock your creativity to a further extent that you wouldn't have otherwise. So yeah, those are the tools that I use. It's ChatGPT, 11 Labs, Midjourney, sometimes Stable Diffusion. It's amazing. I love generative
Nice.
AI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, especially Mid-Journey. It's amazing to, I mean,
yeah,
sometimes you just don't have any creativity or you're struggling to come up with ideas, and it's nice to have ChatGPT there for it. But what's even more nice is to use your own creativity with AI and seeing how Mid-Journey can make your visions come to life and more, which is
yeah,
really interesting. And
yeah.
how would you say otherwise how would AI tools enhance content creation for, social media strategies?
Yeah, so how would AI enhance content creation for social media strategies? Could you specify with yeah, the strategies
Yeah.
aspect? What exactly do you mean with that? Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, with social media strategies, um, you can have this idea stage of using ChatGPT to come up with ideas.
hmm
Is there some other tools out there you can also use to help you with social media strategy?
I mean, there were many. I have seen many come by. I can't remember all of the names right now, but there are a lot of tools that are specifically made for ideation for social media. I have so many tools that I've covered and looked through. I can't remember them all by name, but there definitely are. And I think so, like these tools, because they're more specific than ChatGPT, they're made for that, right? So as long as you can prompt, and by prompting, I'm not saying you should be like a prompt engineering expert or anything. It's just you need to understand that you're talking to an AI, you're talking to a machine. And as long as you understand that how to communicate, what's the most efficient way to communicate with that I think it can bring you a very long way. But for me personally, I just use ChatGPT. It's like we're just having a conversation, right? Like the same way I have a conversation with you,
Yeah.
I try to do it with generative AI as well. But there are many tools right now. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
we didn't have all of these things last year. Now it's insane.
Yeah, and it's only getting bigger and better and more. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
out of all of these AI tools that you utilize, what would you say is the biggest challenges that you face using these AI tools?
So you you never get it right the first time, or the AI never gets it right. I think that's the biggest challenge that I face because when I, for example, prompt for an image, right? I'm thinking before I actually on YouTube, for example, before I make the thumbnail, I in Photoshop, I ask Mid Journey, give me like an idea, and then it's developed. But you don't always get it right the first time, and it requires a lot of patience. I'm telling you, it's like dealing with, I don't know, you need to really be patient with prompting because it never gets it right. And you need to like look at the small details that it's missing out on and zoom in on that. For example, if the image generates something that you don't like. Let's say a boat. You want the boat to be red, but it's blue. And then the shade of the color red. And then do I want shadows on it? So you need to constantly keep adjusting your prompt. And that's like the thing that I find is the most challenging to do. Because even when you are specific, sometimes it just doesn't get it right.
Yeah.
But I think with time, it will keep developing and get better, of course.
Yeah, definitely. And with AI, constantly developing, do you think there's any concerns when it comes to privacy?
With AI, yes, definitely. For example, now, right, we are on a call, but we're using software, right? All of these softwares, they especially, I don't want to mention names of any companies, but on the internet, everything that you're doing, regardless of the browser you're using, there are some browsers that aren't like that, that are more catered to privacy, but there are browsers that are made to track your activities. They are made to track your activities so they can figure out what your preferences are. And for me personally, I don't mind them tracking because it can be handy, right? Like you're just searching the web and you just see an advertisement for something that you would have used, something that's useful to you or a product. It's handy. But we need to really be careful to the extent the extent of how much data they have of you, right? Because right now it's harmless. It's just we take your data, we show you products or videos or content that you are interested in, but it can go a lot further than that. Basically, these companies, big tech companies, all have you a metadata, like they have you in the form of metadata, essentially. Your interests, where you go, what you do, even who you're hanging out with, who connected on the same server as you when your friends come over at home. All of these things. It's just somewhere written in a sheet with, and by the way, perfectly organized. Everything is neatly put together. And in some way or another, they have data, they know things about you that you know about yourself as well, but it's not black and white on paper like that. And I think we need to be careful about this, moving on. It's handy. I think AI is amazing. It's really useful. It's going to make our lives so much easier. But we should take these things into consideration in regards to privacy as well. Like we've had many leaks and lawsuits, and I'm not sure if policymakers are actually developing things to prevent catastrophe from happening in the future. So, and that's what I try to bring light on in my YouTube content as well. It's funny. And on Instagram, I'm like, yeah, I use this tool. And on YouTube, I'm like, wait, be careful. It may become catastrophic.
Yeah, and with Elon Musk releasing the new AI bots, and it's like Will Smith's robots coming to life.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is crazy. It is really crazy. And coming back to your content, something that I've realized using AI, trying to, get more followers or get more traction or reach a broader audience, there's a lot of techniques where, especially in search engine optimization and utilizing SEO, is it true that if you had to have your title as the best AI tool to use for X, and you start your video off with the actual words, the best AI tool to use for X, and also using that same words in your content, in your description. Does this help for the algorithm? Have you seen it help?
Yeah, so for SEO for YouTube, right? Or just any type of content in general, but let's go more on video content. What they do basically is when you make the video, they know exactly what the video is about because the AI transcribes the audio, and then you have everything that you said is basically put in a transcription, and then the SEO magic comes into part, right? So once they figure out what your topic is about, the metadata, so the SEO for me, I go really deep with it, like even the title of the video, the thumbnail, the file name.
Oh, wow.
It goes that deep. And yes, when you optimize the SEO for a specific content, it greatly impacts the algorithm. I have experimented with this. When I don't optimize for SEO on YouTube, I never appear in the search results. I never get traffic for the search results.
Interesting.
The moment that I optimize for SEO, so I go and I look at the data, I look at, the keywords that I'm using, the title, all of these aspects, I immediately appear in the search. Like the first day, normally I don't get many search views, but when you do put the SEO in your title, and as you mentioned earlier as well, when you speak the keywords, which it's natural, as when you make the video, it's naturally going to be in it, you immediately appear in the search results, and then it's a matter of click-through rate, the thumbnail,
Yes.
etc. But the algorithm definitely recognizes what the SEO is telling it the content is about.
Interesting.
Because YouTube is a search engine, right?
Yeah, YouTube is a search engine. It's no longer just Google. But even in the file name, it makes sense because whenever I'm uploading video content, the file name automatically appears in the title.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. And when it comes to video content on other platforms like YouTube, what would you say is the winning strategies for YouTube?
Honestly, the most important thing, so we spoke about SEO, that's one. The most important thing on YouTube or on social media in general is consistency. Upload the content, look at the data, give the algorithm data. Just making one topic, let's say we make a video about vegan recipes, for example. We have a recipe channel, we make vegan recipes, we make Eastern recipes, Southern. We need to keep uploading videos to give the algorithm as much data as we can on the topic. The more you upload, the more data you give them, and the more prone the algorithm is to finding the target audience. Now, how do we spoke about the recipe aspect. The other layer that goes underneath it is storytelling. I love storytelling. I constantly have been using storytelling in my content. You need to keep it very subtle, or you can just do it in your face. It doesn't matter. I love stories, and I think people in general love stories. We've been telling stories since the beginning of time. So having a good storytelling is the other layer that goes in it. But in your storytelling, then the keyword aspect comes in, right? Then you're shooting the algorithm with your keywords. You're throwing in the SEO in there. So it's really a matter of uploading consistently, make the quality as high as you can, tell a story, make sure that your content is SEO optimized, keep coming back with your keywords in the content, and go deep in in the metadata. Some people don't do it. I've seen plenty of people blow up without focusing on SEO, but don't be that person that, you think, maybe I could have gotten more views. No, just do it and get it out of the way.
Analyze that data and just stay consistent.
Yeah, analyze the data. And also, with analyzing the data, I mean, if, for example, you upload 10 videos, right? Not all of them is going to perform the same. There's going to be 1, 2, or 3 of them that outperforms the rest. And here's why it's important to upload. You're going to have to look at those 2 best performing ones.
Yeah.
Take whatever that worked in those 2 videos. So let's say you make a video about, in my case, a hacker that went rogue. If that video performs better than the rest, that's already an indicator. Okay, content with this topic are resonating with the audience. Or if, let's say, you use a specific time length, like the video is 10, 15 minutes, it's 15 minutes and it got more views than the shorter ones, go back to making them longer. So just look at what works and replicate it. Yeah. And as you're doing that, you're replicating, your content becomes refined. But you need to consistently keep going back to it and look at, okay, what is working and what isn't. And you can even use ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you write a script or the content, the topic in the video performs really well. Transcribe the video, put the script in ChatGPT and say, hey, this video, just give it the data, right? This video generated X amount of views. Why do you think it did so? I want you to list the elements in this video, in this script at least. So far it cannot analyze videos, but when we reach that point, you should be able to put in the whole video and say, why is it that this piece of content is outperforming the rest? And then you literally have it in data, right? So you can then take this data and implement it in future content. So it really is a matter of looking at what is working or not. I'll give one last example, right? So when I started on Instagram, I made a JavaScript video, and that was my first video that went over 100K views. So from that point on, I was like, okay, more JavaScript related content. And then I would make videos about that same topic, and then I grew. So it really is about doubling down.
Interesting. Okay, so then being constant, but also constantly refining your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. And then the last question is, out of all the search engines and social platforms out there, what would you say, coming towards the end of 2024, heading into 2025, are the top 3 social media platforms to be on?
YouTube, Instagram, I think TikTok. Algorithmic wise, TikTok, of the 3 of them, so YouTube, YouTube is different. It's a search engine, as we said, but Instagram and TikTok, the fact that you have these algorithms, these algorithms are really, really powerful. And for me, sorry, on Instagram, you have an algorithm, but Instagram is more like you have different algorithms. You have algorithms for the stories, you have for the posts, carousel posts, reels. You have many different. On TikTok, it's similar, but TikTok, the difference was Instagram was a social media platform, and then it got an algorithm attached to it. They implemented the algorithm. From TikTok, it's the other way around. It was an algorithm, and they put the social media on it. Both are really powerful tools, though. And because of short form content, because you can make a 30-second video talking about whatever topic you want to talk about, and you just put it online and 1,000 people see it. You don't need to be viral. You don't need to go viral every time. But just the mere fact that 500 people saw it, 1,000 people saw it, that's a lot of people. That really is a lot.
Yeah.
So I think these platforms have given everyone the opportunity to just come out with the content, post it, and whatever message that you have, someone out there is going to watch it. Back then, it was controlled by the media, right? Like the media decided, okay, this is the song we're going to play on the radio. This is the news article that we're going to put out in the newspaper. Now we don't have that anymore. We have been granted the freedom to reach people.
Yeah.
Autonomously from home. Yeah, you just reach people. And I think those three platforms really are the most powerful tools as of right now. There may be other platforms that I'm not aware of. There probably are platforms on the come up right now that I don't know of. So if anyone knows about it, please let me know.
apparently LinkedIn is bringing in like a Reels.
Oh yeah.
And I guess it's very different to, social media and content creation. But now LinkedIn is such a business platform that's bringing in almost like an entertainment aspect, a Reels, something you see on Instagram, for instance, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, amazing. Well, listen, Dwayne, thank you so much for all your honesty and all your content and everything. And thank you for making time. I really, really appreciate it. And I had such a nice conversation with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I had a blast. We made it happen really smoothly. So thank you for that. Thank you for making it happen.
Yeah, biggest pleasure. Good luck with all your future ventures, and I'll keep in touch with you.
Yeah, for sure. I'll keep in touch with you. Take care.